South Africa's adult population is either overweight or obese. And it's been predicted that obesity in South Africa will increase by 10% by 2030. That's in 7 years' time from now. According to the South African Heart and Stroke Foundation, 225 people die from cardiovascular diseases every single day. Now, as the curtain is coming down on Heart Awareness Month this week, what are the health risks of being obese? For more on this, I'm joined by the Executive Head of Healthcare Consulting at NMG Benefits, Gary Feldman, joining us virtually from Cape Town this afternoon. Gary, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. Can we first speak about the numbers? I mean, we're going to be 10% more of us are going to be obese, so to speak, than today in 7 years' time. And 225 people die every day from cardiovascular disease linked, of course, to overweight and obesity.
Yes, good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. Yeah, that is a horrifying stat. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, 5 people have a heart attack every hour, and 10 people have a stroke every hour of the day. So, yeah, there are huge risks. And I think the big thing is that people think it's an age-related thing only. I mean, we find that 1 of 5 people are under the age of 40 when they have a heart attack or a stroke. So obesity and the risks that go associated with that are horrific in South Africa, and people must start taking ownership of their own health.
And how does that work out in terms of managing that risk?
Well, I think there are a couple of factors that we advise people to consider. Is number one, and the most important is probably your weight. I think you must manage your weight. Obesity and heart disease go hand in hand. And then the other ones are specifically doing exercise, doing sufficient exercise. And at NMG, when we consult to clients, we tell them that they must build in some form of exercise protocols with their employees. Reward your employees for living a healthy lifestyle. I mean, people like an extra day's leave if they attain a certain level of exercise. Unhealthy eating, introduce healthy foods in your canteens at your offices. I think that's a huge, huge problem, because usually cheap food is unhealthy. More expensive food is healthier. So when you're looking at a canteen or a tuck shop at your offices, absolutely consider healthier food. So those are the key things that I think employers specifically can assist employees with when you look at living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, during the weekend, I watched a Netflix series about blue zones. And this guy, I'm sure you're smiling, you've seen it as well, Gary. He spent decades doing research in different parts of the world. And one of the things that come up, you've mentioned 2 of them, is exercise, which is movement, do some kind of movement. But watch what you eat. As you correctly said, even some of this so-called fast food, it's delicious and stuff, but it's dangerous.
Yeah, I think that is a key point. I mean, we know we love eating fast foods. We stop at the fast food outlet, pick up something, eat and run. We're all running all the time, but it's unhealthy stuff. And ultimately, I think the things that you need to be aware of is really high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. Those are the 3 key, what they call almost silent killers. That if you're not aware of those, I mean, you're on the road to a disaster.
Yeah, but then you've mentioned that employers should consider in their canteens in workplaces, those that have canteens, to make sure that there's more healthier options available to staff than otherwise, and maybe make it more affordable, because you made a point there, which is true, that sometimes the organically healthy food tends to be more expensive. Not everybody can afford.
Well, that's right. I think we see an affordability is a huge challenge, and ultimately it's a lifestyle. So you must manage your lifestyle, and your lifestyle is eating, exercise, and basically looking at your weight. I mean, because most of these cheap foods are also very fattening. So those are all elements that I think people should be aware of. And once again, as I said, I mean, you should look at doing your assessments, your health assessments. And you can go to any pharmacy, any doctor, and just have a finger prick test, which can determine your cholesterol level and your sugar level, and then have your blood pressure taken. And as soon as those are raised, those are immediate signs that you must have further investigative medication done, and if need be, go on to some form of medication to ensure that those diseases are well managed.
Yeah, so part of managing these risks of increasing obesity in our country is to know your status, literally, know how you're doing, your body, and if you need to, you must adjust your lifestyle.
Absolutely. No, I think that's why. I mean, your wellness checks are critically important. I mean, you should have a regular medical checkup, and we suggest at least once a year have those blood tests done. It's quick, it's easy, and if most medical facilities can do those tests for you, as I said, you can go for a very small amount. If you're not on a medical aid, you can go to a Clicks pharmacy or some of the other pharmacies, and they can do these tests for you and basically evaluate what your risk is, and then you can take the necessary corrective procedures.
Yeah, is there anything else you tell your clients, Gary, when they consult for you on the healthcare side with these risks? Because we're just focusing on, it is Heart Awareness Month, and it's ending this week in South Africa, and cardiovascular disease is a big challenge for us, as you've said, 5 people literally dying every hour in our country. But what other things do you really advise your clients to be mindful of?
Yeah, I think we at NMG basically advise clients to make sure that they have a healthy lifestyle for their staff. I mean, we see even from not only from a heart perspective, but from a stress perspective. I mean, stress also results in heart attacks. So it's a work-life balance. There are a number of issues that we can assist clients with to establish how they can best look after their clients, their staff, and their staff's well-being. I mean, there's some easy and early detection signs as well. If your staff, for argument's sake, show any form of shortness of breath or any form of chest pains or pains in their arms, there are a number of elements that you need to be aware of that are early detection signs of somebody that is potentially struggling with cardio problems. I mean, such a simple thing as swollen feet. I mean, if your feet are regularly swollen, that means that there's something wrong that you need to have investigated, and any medical professional will be able to assist you with that. So it's important to look after your own health because, as I said, these are potentially silent killers. And unfortunately, if you have a stroke or a heart attack, these could be fatal if you don't have access to good medical facilities very, very shortly after this incident happens.
Thank you very much. Gary Feldman, Executive Head of Healthcare Consulting at NMG Benefits, as we wrap Health Awareness Month, Heart Awareness Month. We have a whole problem here in South Africa of heart disease, cardiovascular disease and stroke. Please do take care.